Let us solve the exercise number 6 in the part A of DBMS Lab. In this exercise, we are supposed to create two tables, and the names of the two tables are suppliers and the computer items. And inside the supplier table, we are supposed to create the supplier number, supplier name, and supplier address, followed by the city. And inside the computer items, we are supposed to create the item number, supplier number, item name, and item quantity. And they said that we are supposed to consider three suppliers, and you can they also said that the supplier can supply more than one item. Apart from that, they said that we have to decide on the primary key as well as the foreign key. And you will notice that the primary key, that is the supplier number of the supplier table, is used as a foreign key in the computer items table. So this primary key of supplier table will become the foreign key in the computer item table. And they have given us a few queries over here that we are supposed to execute. So let us go ahead and let's create the two tables first. I'm going to go to the Oracle here by clicking on the VS Code, and I'm going to go to the Oracle SQL Developer. So click on this one, Oracle SQL Developer, and select your connection, whichever connection is appropriate. Click on it, and it will get connected. And I'm going to open a SQL worksheet. And let us start by creating the two tables. Let me just copy these two tables for my reference so that I don't have to go between the two things here. So I'm going to go here, and I will just make as a remark both of them so that they don't come in our way. So this is just for my reference. Let's start creating a table. So I'm going to say create create table, and the name of the table is, I'm going to just copy this one. So for my reference. So this is the table that I was supposed to create. And let me just bring all of them, all the field in one line. I'm just bringing the one field in one line. Okay, so this I will give the field name slightly later. So these are the things that we are supposed to create. Let us start with the first one, supplier number. You can take it as int. Suppose if you are not good in typing, just take it as int. Int is going to work. Or you can also take a number, that is a number, and then you can specify 2. 2 is I can make it as 3. 0, 0, some number 1, 2, 3, 4. That is the primary key supplier number. And what else you can do is you can create it as primary key, because I have already told you that this is going to be the primary. I'm not in caps lock, just for it. Where is the caps lock? Yes, primary key. Okay. And then let's go with the other one, and that is the name of the customer. And let me say 25 will be the name of the customer. And I think this should have gone to the next line. Let me make it as yes city. It is yes city. And let me make it as varchar. And address, I think I don't know what is going on. Okay, so address is say 150, and the city varchar. And what else you can say? Maybe city is 50 characters. Enough. Okay, so that's enough, I suppose. So this is one of my tables. Let me create the second table. So I'm going to go with the same thing, create table. I'm not typing it so that it will come in all caps. So if I type it, it is coming in the mixed cases. So I'm just avoiding that thing by selecting it. You can type it again. It is not case sensitive. You can type it in capitals or small case. It is not going to make any difference. Or you can use even the mixed case. Okay, so that language is not case sensitive like your C program. You don't have to stick on to the lowercase or uppercase or anything. You can type it in uppercase or lowercase. So this is the second table. Item number is there. Again, I'm going to take it as a number. You can take it as int also. Okay, if you're not good in typing, you can just take it as int. And let me make it as a primary key, because item number primary key, because they said that there must be some primary key. And did they say not null is there? Okay, they said not null. So I am going to just fix the not null there. So I just forgot that we are supposed to create a not null. And you notice that this supplier number is connected to this supplier number. So this is the foreign key here. So you must have the same data type as that of the previous one. So don't miss the data type. So I'm going to take it this one as number, and let me make it as 3. I will also make this one as 3. So 999 items will be there. So maximum 3 digit. And then item name, let me select it as varchar, and item name say 50 characters. And item quantity, because they said that it is a computer item, I'm going to stick on with only, let me say, integer. So, you can't sell 1.5 mouse, you can't sell half keyboard. The quantity is always 1 keyboard, 2 keyboard, 3 keyboard, or 1 mouse, or 2 mouse, or 1 laptop. You don't have fractions there. So I'm not going to take the fractions here. Let me fix with the not null here. So I just forgot not null there. So not null is here, and I'm going to fix it for all of them not null. So city also not null. So just fixing this not null over here, and let me say not null, and this one is also not null. This is a quantity, forget it. Okay. Then let's put one constraint, and as I've already told you, and this is the primary key here. So this is the primary key in the supplier table, and this is going to be a foreign key in the computer item table. So this will be referenced from the suppliers table. So let's fix that problem. So I'm going to put one constraint here. And what is that constraint? And the constraint that I'm going to talk about is the foreign key. Okay. And which one is the foreign key? As I have told you, the supplier number is the foreign key. So this is going to be my foreign key. So that is the foreign key. And where is it referring to? And I have already told you, this is going to refer to the supplier number of the suppliers table. So it is going to refer to the suppliers table. So let's write this references the suppliers table, and inside that supplier table, it's going to refer to the supplier number. So this is what I have written. So one is going to refer to the supplier number, and so it means to say that this one, this supplier number is the foreign key, and it references the supplier number. Inside that supplier number, it is referring to the primary key of that table. Okay, so this is what you are supposed to do it. Now, you must be very careful here, because you said it references here. So whatever values you are using in this table here, so suppose if you say the supplier number is 3, then that number 3 must be already present in this table. So because it is referencing that number, it is going to match this number with the other number. So if you say you are using supplier number 3 in the computer item table, then that number 3 value must be there. The value must be there. So there must be a supplier with the supplier number 3 already in this table. Otherwise, when you try to insert it, it's going to say that number 3 is not there, or number 4 is not there. I'm trying to refer to a supplier number which is not there. Also, when you try to delete the table, to delete the table, you use a drop table. If you're deleting this table, you have to delete the referenced table, the referencing table first. That is this table first. Delete this table first and then delete this table. If you try to delete this table first, it will say that this table is already been referenced by somebody else. So if you delete the numbers from here, like if you delete the supply number 4 from here, then it will affect the other table because that table is referring to this number. So delete this table. So when you are inserting, insert the items to the supplier first, followed by the second, that is computer items. When you delete it, remove the computer items first, then the supplier number. So remember that if you don't follow this, what is going to happen is when you try to delete it, you will get an error message, or when you try to insert it, you will get an error message saying that you are trying to do something which is not there. So let me go here. And as usual in the examination, what you're supposed to do is when you create a table, let me first create a table. So select anywhere and press Control Enter, and if everything goes fine, you will notice that suppliers table is created, and then you describe this table. Very, very important during the examination, you describe the suppliers table. That's critically important. Some students don't do that and lose marks. So select it and press Enter. So let me just select the whole thing to describe this one. So you just describe it. It may not make any difference in your life, but just to do it. Okay. Same thing if you are creating this one, you have to, let me just create it, and you have to, this table is created, that is computer items is created, and then you are going to describe this table. So remember, whenever you create a table, always make it a point that when you create a table, you just describe it during the examination. Now, in real life, you may not do it, but during the examination, whenever you create a table, just describe it. It is just one line. It is not going to make any difference. If that line is there, they assume that okay, you did something. Okay, done with it, and let's try to insert something into this table. So I'm going to say insert into, which is the table, suppliers table, and I will straight away insert values to all of them. So which are the values? So first one is the supplier number 1, and you may think that okay, I'm going to write some names over here. Don't write some names over here. There are two names which are required here, and which are the two names? If you look at here, they said that the supplier names, that is a list supplier name, item supplied by the suppliers, and the suppliers names that they have given is Cats and Electrotech. So this question number C here has names of two suppliers. One is Cats, other one is Electrotech. So you need to have these two suppliers. So you are supposed to, here they've said that you are supposed to have three suppliers, that is consider three suppliers, out of which two suppliers names are Cats and Electrotech. You don't have the choice there. You have to use them. Okay. Now, if you want additional names, you put add additional suppliers. So let me start with the names here, supplier names. The first names that I'm going to start is the Cats. So I'm going to start with the CATS. So I think I'm in caps. Okay, Cats. And some address. So some address. So you can say Shivbak, and let's say Mangalore. Okay, Mangalore. Okay, done. Okay, this is the city Mangalore. Done. This is one supplier. Okay, done. Let me select it and Control Enter, and you notice one row is inserted. I'm going to cheat by copying two other names from my notepad. I have already done it. You know very well. Typing is really boring, and I'm going to just select it and just press Enter. So second one is Electrotech, and third one is Maple, and two names I just selected two cities. That's it. Now, very important over here is when you try to insert the items into this one. So if I say insert into which one, computer items, We make it as caps lock. Computer items. That is it. Computer items. And what is this? Values. You are setting values. Now this is item number. This first one is the item number. Item number is your choice. Next number, that is what is the next number? Next number, that is the supplier number, must come from here. So these are the suppliers number. You have to pick supplier numbers from there. Not if the numbers are not here. So 1, 2, 3 is there. 3 records. You will have to have 1, 2, 3 here. You cannot have other numbers there because you said here that it references. If you notice the table here, you said it references these numbers. It references the supplier numbers of a suppliers table. So this suppliers table, this suppliers number are being referenced. So they must be there within the table. You don't have the choice there. So let me put the supplier number 1, that is the cats. In my case, when I say supplier number 1, I am referring to the cats here, this one, cats table. Okay, so cats is supplying me the item. So let's say the cats is supplying me monitor. I am in caps lock, so this is the problem. So this is the problem. So I am not used to typing it in all caps. So monitor, cats is supplying me monitor, and how many items? The last one is the quantity. How many items? 15 monitors are being supplied to me by cats. So this is what I'm doing. So what do I mean by saying that is the item number is 1, and this is supplied by cats. Okay. And the item name happens to be the monitor, and the quantity happens to be 15. So this is what I've done. I'm going to select it, control enter it, and one row is inserted. As usual, I'm going to cheat now by copying the remaining items from here. So control C from here, and control, assume that I have taken pain in typing all the things over here. So I just typed a few things over here. Control C uh, and control enter. Just press control enter, or you can run the script from here, or you can right click and then run the statement. All are same, but I feel control and enter. Suppose if you are watching it for the first time, CTRL followed by enter key is the one that I'm doing it, which is much faster as compared to using the mouse and clicking here and doing something. Okay, so we are done with our first part over here, and that is creating the table. And very important, once you enter the something into the table, during the examination, you are, whether you like it or not, you just select from suppliers. You just do this one during the examination. These stories make a lot of difference, even though it may not make any difference in your life, but during the examination they carry marks. So select star from table, just to show you that there are some records are there. Also from the other table, that is select star from which table? Computer items table. Okay, you run this one, control enter, keep the mouse pointer anywhere in the statement, control enter, and you are done with the 10 records there. So done. During the examination, don't forget these two things. One is you describe it, other one is you select it. Okay, when you create a table, just remember those two things. For any table, you will describe the table. For any table, if you are inserted an item, or if you have updated something, just you run select and then show the result. I'm done with it. So let's go with the next part. These are the questions. So the first thing that they are saying that list item and suppliers details in alphabetical order of the city name, and within each city decreasing order of item quantity. So this thing that they are saying. So I am supposed to list item and suppliers. So these two details I am supposed to, items details as well as supply detail I am supposed to show it. That is not the end of it. I am supposed to order them alphabetically in the names of the city, and within the city decreasing order of the quantity. So let's go and let's do that thing. Now you notice that there are two tables are there. And in two tables, one thing is common. If you look at here, in both the tables, one thing is common. And what is common is supplier number. So this is going to create a problem. Other things are not common. So Oracle can understand the the supplier's name, the supplier address, supply city belongs to the supplier's table, and the item number, item name, item quantity belongs to the computer items table. But Oracle will get confused if you say supplier number, because supplier number is here as well as here. So you have to tell the Oracle that see, supplier numbers will come from either supplier table or computer items table. So because it is repeated, it will get confused. So when you select it, you make sure that you have done it properly. So let's start with the first part. And what is the first part? We will have to select it. That's the story there, because they said that list means you are going to select it. Select the details from the items table. What are the they said item first is not item first. So select the details from the item table. So what you have there, item number, item number, item number. So this is the first one. The first one, item number, item number. Okay, item number, done. Item name, name, done. What else we have? Quantity. Let's say quantity. I will say item quantity, done. These are the details. I will not use the supplier number, because the supplier number will come in the other table. So let's go with the what is the supplier table. So in the supplier table, let's go with the details of the supplier table. Now, if you say supplier number, so suppose if you say supplier number, now this time you will be in trouble. Now the minute I say supplier number, I have to exclusively say which is the supplier number, because supplier numbers are there both in the suppliers table also. This field is there. Where is this field? Supplier field is there here. Supplier field is also there in the computer items table. So I must be careful with that one. So for the time being, just for the explanation, I'm going to drop that thing, because it's going to create a problem, is it not? I have to tell the Oracle where it is going to come. So I'm going to just drag it down so that it just goes here. Okay, then let us fill the other part. I'm going to fill this item. Now there is no item number, story is over. Then what I have, the supplier name. I'm going to show this supplier name, yes name. There is no problem. This is not a problem. Yes address. I think what was the yes address. So S name is address. It's address. Okay, done. And yes city. So there is this is not going to create any problem to me. Yes, the city is there. Okay, city is there. From two tables. From which are the two tables? So from the two tables. So let me take one table from here, which is the first table from the which one? First we took computer items, is it not? So let me take that computer items as my first table. Computer items. So I'm going to go now computer items. Okay, and I'm going to now I have to combine. But is it trying to do something? Okay, so it is trying to say something which is not really required. So from the computer items, now I'm going to join this computer items table with the supply table. Remember, you have to join these two tables. I have to combine this table with this table. So somehow I have to join these two tables together and get the quantity which are common between these two tables. So how do I do that thing? So I'm going to say inner join. So I'm going to say inner join on which one? On suppliers. Now I'm going to give a prefix for supplier. I'm going to use the prefix as a yes. What is this going on? Okay. and for computers table I'm going to give the prefix as C. So from now onwards, instead of saying suppliers, I'm going to say yes. Instead of computer items, I'm going to say it is a C. So just giving two prefixes. Okay, join on what? So you have to say join on which field. So whenever you are joining, say join on which field. Okay, I'm going to say what is the first one? The computer items. This computer item. So this is the field. Say remember, computer items has this supplier number, this, and the suppliers. So this table, suppliers table is there. So this table has the supplier number. Computer items also has supplier number. You are going to join them based on this. Okay, so based on these two fields, you are going to join. What is the meaning of that? Is you are going to say here, if this is the supplier number is 1, then it must be Cats. If the supplier number is 2, it must be Electrotech. If the supplier number is 3, it must be Maple. So you are going to combine them. So these values, you are going to match these values with the values which are there in the suppliers table. So from the computer items table, you're going to map it to the other table. So how do I say that? Join on C dot supplier number. So this supplier number, computer items supplier number, has to be mapped with the supplier's supplier number. So what is the prefix I used for supplier? I used the prefix S for supplier, and I use the prefix C for computer item. So I'm going to match them, and I'm going to say, what is that I can say, is S dot, this is the supplier, S is capital. Did I use the capital there? Okay, hopefully I have not misplaced, and supplier number. So this is the inner join. So if I run, what is going to happen? Okay, so let's see. I'm going to select this. You don't have to select, click anywhere and just run it. Okay, you get all of them. Okay, you get, let me just pull it out. You get all of them. So you notice that the monitor is supplied by Cats. You know, the supplier number 1 is Cats. Supply number 2 is Electrotech. Supply number 3 is Maple. So monitor is supplied by Cats. Keyboard is supplied by Cats. The mouse is supplied by Electrotech and the Maple and Electrotech, and then so on and so forth. So you got it. Now this is not the end of it. Okay. This query is not yet over. Why? Because they said that you have to alphabetically order it in the name of the city. So we have to go by order. So let's go by order. So let me go here. I'm going to write it in next line. Remember, you can write it in a single line and confuse yourself as well as your external examiner. But I am not here to confuse you. So I'm going to say order by, okay, what is that? Yes, city. Order by yes, city. And you notice that now when I select it, it just said that yes, city. So it is this thing is getting not intelligent, and it is going to say that you started using a script here, you use a prefix here. Why can't you use the prefix and tell me exactly what is it? Even though there is no confusion between the yes city, because yes city is the one that is used directly here. It is not repeated here. See, the confusion happens only when the same field name is there in two tables. So this table also has the supply number. This table also has the supply number. In that case, which table are you talking about? Are you talking about the supplier, or are you talking about the computer item? That kind of confusions will come. When the field names like SNAME, SADDRESS, it is not there in the other table, it is not going to make any difference. So I want it in the ascending order. Remember, by default, it is in the ascending order. But if you are a good student who is going to impress your examiner, you can always say ASC for ascending order. Okay, but I strongly say that don't write ASC. You will be wasting time, because by default it is ascending order. Okay, so let us run this one query, and let us see what is happening. So what is happening now is MA will come, MAN G, and this is descending. So MANG, then MANI. After G, I will come, then P. HIJKLMNOP. So P will come at the end. So this is in the ascending order of the city. So dictionary, if you don't know how to refer to the dictionary, go and ask your English madam how to refer to the dictionary. Okay. So this is in the dictionary order. Then they said in the decreasing order of I quantity. So within the city, it must be in the decreasing order. So 7 must come, then 15, then 25. So decreasing order of the I quantity. How do I write this? So this query is not yet over. Let me go here and let me say then comma I quantity. So again, you notice the beauty of this. It just says that I quantity is there in the computer item. So it is saying that, so don't confuse anybody, just give the full name. But if you want, you give the full name. Okay. Decreasing, this you have to do it. How do you say that? D E, yes, decreasing is D A D E S C. Describe this. Okay. Decreasing order of the quantity. So decreasing DESA, suppose I am getting confused whether it describe all this DESA. Suppose I am not sure. See, that is the problem is I'm not used to writing everything in caps lock. So this is the problem. Let me just do it. See whether if I'm wrong. Okay, because I'm getting confused whether this DESC is same as the describe table. DESC is for decreasing. That is the keyword that you have to use. You notice now everything is proper. This is in the dictionary order. You know very well. Mangalore first, Manipal, then Puttur next. Within the Mangalore, if you just look at this within the Mangalore, I'm interested in the quantity. Within the Mangalore, 25 first, 15 next, and 7. This is decreasing order. So within the Manipal, at 31st, 22, 18, 8. And within the Puttur, you see that 12, 5, and 3. So you notice in the decreasing order. So this is the end of the query. That's the first query that you are going to execute. Next, let's look at the next one. List the name, city, address of suppliers who are supplying keyboards. Okay, I have to list the name, city, and address. So exclusively, they have said a few things. So let's do that thing. So I have to select. A list means you know very well. Select. Am I in caps lock? Okay. What is that? That I just forgot. Okay. Name, city, and address. So yes name. Yes name. Okay. Supplier name. Yes city, and supplier address and city, or city and address. City and address. Okay. And yes. Again, no. My intuition is I just get the shift. My hand simply goes to the shift and I change the caps lock. Okay. What to do? Okay. I'm not used to it. Again, I won't repeat it next time. Okay. So let's go with the on this one from suppliers table. Remember, this is from which table? Suppliers. These are all from suppliers. So from suppliers table. So we are supposed to get a supplier name, supplier city, and supplier address. So this is what we are supposed to get it. Supplier name, supplier city, and supplier address from the suppliers. We are supposed to get it. Who is supplying keyboard? Now keyboard is not there in this table. You notice that a keyboard is not here. Keyboard is in the other table. So some part you have to get it from the other table. How do I get to some part from the other table? You will do the inner join. So let's go with the inner join. So I'm going to go with the inner, and I'm going to say join on which one? Computer items table. Okay. Again, to the one that holds both of them, the one that just bring it down, the one that holds both the table, are this, by now you are all familiar. The one that holds both the tables are this item number. So this is the one that is bonding the two tables. So that is the item computer items as well as the suppliers table are connected by the field supplier number, and supplier number is there in the suppliers table as well as it is there in the computer items table. So the Oracle will get confused as to which table I am referring to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one prefix C here and one prefix S here. Supplier, for supplier I'm going to use the prefix S to say that this is S from a supplier. Instead of yes, I'm using supplier yes. Instead of supplier, I'm going to use yes, and instead of computer items, I'm going to use C. Then, and whenever you are trying to join, you have to say join on what? Join on the supplier dot supplier number. Okay, supplier number, and C dot, that is a computer items table dot supplier number. So join on. So I'm now qualifying it and saying that this one is from the suppliers table, this one is from the computer items table, so that there is no confusion, otherwise they will get confused. Okay, so this is done. What is the condition? Next one is what is the condition. Here we have to put one condition. What is the condition? Condition is they must be supplying keyboard. And what is the, where will I get to the keyboard? I have already given you here. These are, you see the keyboard, keyboard, keyboard. What is this, the keyboard? Item name. Item name is the keyboard. So the condition is where, what you can say, where okay, item name, that is item name is equal to, what is it? Keyboard. So I think I'm going to just copy it from here, because if it is a small case capsule, that problem can be avoided by just copying it and then putting it here. So select item name, select supplier name, supplier city, supplier address from the suppliers table, and inner join it on the computer items table. What is the one that holds both of them? The join is on the supplier numbers of both the tables. And what is the condition? Condition is the item name must be the keyboard. So let me just press Control Enter, and you notice that there are two people who are supplying me the keyboard. One is Cats, the other one is Electrotech. Let's look at this one. Cats, remember, item, the supplier number 1 is Cats, supplier number 2 is Electrotech. So you notice over here, supplier number 1 is supplying me Cat. This is the keyboard, that is Cats, and supplier number 2 is my Electrotech, and they are supplying me keyboard, and the others are not supplying me keyboard, and that is the confirmation that I am getting it from my query. So done. Let's go to the next story. And what is the next story? List the supplier name, item name supplied by the suppliers of Cats and Electrotech. So this is it. So I want to know all the items that are supplied by the Cats and Electrotechs. What are the items both these Cats and Electrotechs are supplying me? So this is the query that I am going to write. So let's see what they have asked. Supplier name they have asked, and they have said what is the supplier item name. So that is a item that the supplier is supplying. So let's go here, and you know very well, this is the select statement. Select what is it? Select, they said that I am supposed to get the supplier and what is supplier name and item name. I'm going to say, even though they have not given the items, so they said I'm going to say item name. That's enough. Okay. So I'm going to say, what I can say is supplier name, yes name, yes name, and what else you have? Item underscore name, item name, and item. I I think I know my hand is simply going without my brings action, it just presses the shift key there. So it again goes back to small case. So item name, the supplier name, item name, and quantity. And it is supplied by who is supplying. Now I'm going to go the suppliers from, let's say, from supplier. So this is the question they said, isn't it? Give the supplier name and this supplied by these suppliers. So this is what they have said. Okay, from suppliers. And as usual, you know very well, when there are two tables are there, you have to join the two tables, combine the two tables together. So you have this suppliers table, and you have this suppliers table, and you have this computer items table. Join them together. So join them and use the common items. So I'm going to go with the join there. So I'm going to say inner join, and what you can say inner join on the one table is already selected suppliers. The next table, left out table, is definitely computer items. So when one table is gone, what you can say computer items. As usual, when you have two tables, it is better you give a prefix. For supply, I say yes. For computers item, I'm going to say C. Done. Then what I'm going to say, you join on, as usual, join on which one? Yes dot supplier number is connected to C dot supplier number. So this is as usual. Okay, combining field, you know very well, the one that connects both of them. As usual, the one that connects both of them is the supplier number. So supplier number is the one that connects both the tables. So that is done. Now we have the condition. What is the condition? Condition is that the supplier name must be within the Cats and Electrotech. So this is what we are supposed to do it. So where, what is our condition? Where the supplier name, that is yes name. So yes name, remember it, you know very well, it's going to prefix and say that you said the supplier, the prefix is C, so I'm going to use the C. Okay, but let it use it. Okay, there is nothing, I don't have to pay anything for that. Okay. First supplier is Cats. Okay, the Cats, and the second supplier is Electrotech. I'm not going to take a risk here. I'm going to copy that Electrotech from here, Control C and Control V. Okay, and just lazy here. Done. Okay. So what we are saying is the supplier name must be either Cats or Electrotech. So just select it and just run it, and you notice that all the items which are supplied by the Cats are the keyboard, the mouse, webcam, and all these items. And you notice that they are not coming in the order or anything. You may say that you keep order by. That is not asked, and you are not going to get any marks for that. Okay? Or you may say that no, one cat is coming here. No, some you may say, let it come there. They have not asked you for doing that. Okay? They then said that order by not story is not there, so don't write something which is not asked. Okay, so we will do that only. You will not get, nobody will deduct marks because the question itself says that they select it. They never said order by, whereas here in somewhere they said that order in the decreasing quantity and something. So I'm not going to order them in any way. Let's go ahead with the next story. What is the next story? If you want, you can order by the supplier name. There is nothing wrong in it. Then let me not waste time on that. It's the question which is not asked. Let us try to find the items having the quantity less than 5 and insert the details into the suppliers, insert the details of the suppliers and the items of these into the another table. Okay, so what is this? Let me read it properly. So find the items having quantity less than 5. So you have to find the items having the quantity less than 5. So find out all the items which are having quantity less than 5. Now I don't know whether I really have any items which are having quantity less than 5. Okay, I have some mouse, 3 is there, some quantity 7 is there, some quantity less than that is there, some quantity less than 5, at least one is there. Okay, mouse is there, 3, quantity 3 is there. I should have been a bit careful about that. Okay, one item is only there, so be careful with that. So one item is only less than 5 quantity, but it's okay. Okay, I have at least one quantity less than 5. And insert the details of suppliers. So suppliers details you have to insert it, and items of these into another table. So what they mean by that is they are saying that you create one more new table and then get to the details of suppliers as well as the items into this table, put them into this table for only those items for which the quantity is less than 5. So search for the items which are having quantity less than 5 and get these details, that is the item number and all those things, as well as the supplier's details, who is supplying it, and put them in a new table called as a new order. So this is going to be a challenging one now. So we are supposed to select and put it in a new table. That means we are supposed to create a new table. At the end, they're saying that put it in another table means what is the meaning? You have to create a table. That's it. Okay. So how do you create a table? So you say create a table. You know very well, create a table. And what is the name they said? The name is a new order. They already said that, okay, the name of the table is new order. So this part is obvious. But this table has to get all the stories from the other two tables. So you're saying that this table has to be created by looking at these two tables. So there is a suppliers table is there. You look at the suppliers table and you look at the computer items table, and based on that you have to create it. So create a new table as the other two tables. So which are the other two tables? The suppliers table as well as the computer items table. So look at them and then create. Its structure must be based on that. Okay. Now from that table, what they've said is select the items having quantity less than 5. So from that table, let's go with that story. Now this is, you have to create a table based on the query that I'm writing. And what is the query that I'm going to write? You know very well. I have to select something, okay, for which the quantity is less than 5. So let us select something. Okay. What are the things that I'm going to select? The item number. So you see that they said item is not items quantity, and so let me select the item number. Item number, and when I select item number, you will say that no sir, you also select item name also. It is also required. Okay, item name, that is it. And one of you will definitely say, no, any of you selected the item name. Why can't you select item quantity? Okay, I will select a quantity also. And the next person will say that, okay, that is enough. Now you get the other details. Which are the other details? Suppliers details. So you get the suppliers details. So you set suppliers number. So I'm going to say supplier number. Now this is going to create a problem. Why this is going to create a problem? Because you know very well both the tables have the same name called the supplier name. Computer item also has it. What else? The supplier table also has it. So which one you are going to select? It is up to you. So you may say that I will select it from the first table, or other person may say that I will select it from the second table. I'll get back to that story. Let me complete this the remaining thing. So I'm going to say yes name, that is the supplier name, and what else you have? Yes address. Should I say yes address? Done. Yes city. So these stories have no problem. From one table. So which table you are going to say? So I started with the computer items table. So let me start from the computer items table. So if you look at this one, computer items table have these definitely item number is there, item name is there, item quantity is there. Now this one is a bit confusing because you know very well this supplier number is there both in the suppliers table, and these things are not there in the computer item table at all. These are from the other table. So how do I get the other table? So you know very well, in order to get from the other table, you have to go for inner join. From that time, I am using this word inner join. So this is the inner join on suppliers. Okay. Now the story will come. Supplier, I'm going to take it as yes, as usual. Computer items, I'm going to use the prefix C. Now, this very important thing, you can take it from the C or you can take it from yes. It is up to you. So I'm going to take it as yes because it makes more sense to say that supplier number from the suppliers table, not suppliers number from the supplier table. So logically, when you say it, it looks great, isn't it? So that is done. Okay. But whenever you are combining the inner join, there must be a common field, which is the field on which you are going to combine. You know very well. So you are going to combine it on computer items dot supplier name, and it must be equal to suppliers dot suppliers name, suppliers number. So done. What is the condition? What is the condition? Where? What is the condition? They said the quantity must be less than 5. This is the condition. Quantity must be less than 5. So what is this quantity? I quantity. Did I use the C there? I didn't C there. Computer items. Anyhow, let me say. So, no, see, when it is not getting it, you see the wonder of this wonderful thing about it. It didn't get it. It didn't get its C. What it is saying that is no, you put the full name. You give the full the table name and then put the quantity. Inside this computer items, you have the quantities. I'm going to put the full name there. Here also, it just said that the computer items are to this. Let me, I don't know why it has not taken that. Just make it as C. It didn't take, you see the beauty of that. It just said that I'm not going to give you that thing there. Okay. So, so that is the beauty of that. So it said I'm not, I didn't get what you wrote here. I think I'm going to get an error at this point. Let me say, let me just hold on for a few things. Let me compare to this query. My query is quantity must be less than 5. So quantity must be less than 5. Quantity must be less than 5. This story is there. Quantity must be less than 5. So I have written quantity must be less than 5. Then they said get the item details and the supplier detail. I got the supplier's item details and supplier's details. I got it. Okay. From the computer items table, computer items. Is that spelling proper? Computer items and suppliers. Yes. So let me just see if there is a error. Let us fix it. No problem. Let me just run it, and it just said okay, there is no error. Now the beauty of this software is that it didn't understood what I wrote here. Then it went on its own and said that if you are not giving prefix, I will use the full name. Okay. But anyhow, we are fortunate enough that we have created a table. Okay. So that's not the end of it. You have to describe this I think I am playing with the caps lock. Okay. Describe the new order table. Okay. Describe. Okay. What is that? I think I better no this thing is it is better I commit to this action. Okay, it may say that I have not created. I will commit this action. You know very well, to commit this, you have to use this one. Commit it. Just commit it. Okay, it's required that you commit the whole thing. And then let's say, if it is not coming, I will tell you what is the reason. When you run it, if you are not coming it, new order, if it is not coming, what is the reason it is not coming, and so on. So just go here to the tables and see whether that described table is there or not. If it is not there, just refresh it. Okay, sometimes it just it will not. See, this is actually what is happening is this is the client. This story is the client, and the server is running elsewhere. Okay, every now and then it won't go to the server and say what is happening, because the server will get irritated. So if somebody is coming to the server and say what is happening, you tell me what is it. The server will say that no, I won't entertain you anymore. So after some time it will go and get the data. So that is called as a refreshing. So it will take some time for it to get refreshed. But if you are impatient, you just say refresh it. So now I am impatient. I am forcefully saying they go to a server and get all the details from the server. Now, if you see new order table must be there. You see this new order table is here. Now, if I run it, if I not made a mistake, okay, let me write it again. Describe, what is it? New order. Okay. Now, if you get that problem, that, what is it? Unexpected describe error, SQL command not properly ended. Okay, I will just select the whole thing and press enter. Okay, done. Okay, somewhere I think from that time onwards I was not. I think by mistake I selected two words and then did that. So I will select the whole thing and press Control Enter. Now the thing is, it happened for good. So when you run it, if it is not happening, so when you say that the things are not coming, just commit the action and then go here and refresh it. Okay, go here and refresh it, because this client has to go to the server and say that so these are updates are there, and then get the confirmation from the server that new table is created, new something is created, and so on and so forth. Okay, the why they have done it is see, otherwise what will happen is the server will get busy every now and then. See, this is one client. Server may have access to 101 client there. So the server, whenever we say that you have a server, the server is serving many people. Okay, so it is not one client. It is a server is communicating with many clients. If every client comes or every now and then and asks the server will definitely get tired. So every client will follow a protocol, and that is after certain time they will go ask the server, give me the updates, and they will take it back. So for that reason, if you are impatient, just go and commit it and then ask it for a fresh. Now, sometimes it may be required. Okay. Your mother will call you during the evening, during the morning. So when you reached the college, or are you coming back, and other things. But if there is an emergency, generally she will call you during the morning hours, and maybe after 4 o'clock she will call. Okay. But if there is an emergency, she may call even during the afternoon. So when it is required, otherwise generally she will find out whether you have safely reached the college, or whether are you coming from the college, or something like that. Okay, so generally the refresh time is in some milliseconds. Okay. If you are impatient, you can just make a fresh request. Let me come back to the story. Stop dragging it. Let me show the what is it new order content. Okay, so I selected new order and Control Enter, and you know very well there was only one mouse and the quantity is less. I have already talked about it, because there was only one item whose quantity was less. Now, if you want, you can change the quantity, and where is the? Let me just to make it full. I will go to the what was the computers items table. I will go to this computer items table, and I will go to this data, and let me make this a printer as 2 here. Printer as 2, and maybe router as 1. Done. And very important, you have to commit it. Okay. After committing it, let's come back. And after coming back, the first thing I'm going to do is I will drop this new order table. So I'm going to say drop table. What is this new order? So let me drop this table. Control enter. So this table is dropped. You notice that this table is dropped now, and I'm going to rerun this query. Select it and just control enter. The table is created. Let me describe the table again, and there is not going to be much about this table. And let me run this new order table, and you notice that router was there, and the mouse was there, and the printer is there. 3 items were brought here. I think with that we can wind up. So only these many queries. Thank you for your interest. We will meet again in the other exercise.